Frustration for Man City as they are held to 0-0 draw by Southampton. It seems a lifetime ago when we were weekly up in arms about VAR. In reality, it has only been a month or so since the all-new common-sense approach to refereeing was introduced this season and the video referee receded into the appropriate anonymity of Stockley Park. As such, we had almost forgotten what a good VAR rant was like. But like a sepia-tinted nostalgia fest, here was one from the good old days, designed to baffle and infuriate in equal measure, and on which the match turned on 61 minutes. Adam Armstrong it was who broke dangerously into the Manchester City penalty area and Kyle Walker who dived in somewhat recklessly to tackle, getting much more man than ball. Immediately referee John Moss gave a penalty before sending off Walker. After a lengthy delay, we had the VAR checking penalty message. Which is bizarre in itself, as all penalties are checked immediately anyway. It cannot be said often nor loudly enough just how bad the user experience is for the fan in the stadium as they are left to guess and puzzle it out, denied any information or replays. So when the referee is invited to take the leisurely job over to the monitor, fans are more or less invited to take a break and rejoin the action again when we're ready. Primetime entertainment it ain't. Eventually, we had Moss trotting back to rescind Walker's red card, which seemed correct, as unless you haven't attempted to play the ball, no player should be sent off while conceding a penalty on the principle of double jeopardy. And yet he also overturned the penalty, which seemed odd as Walker's aggressive challenge, which bundled Armstrong over, wasn't the clearest cut penalty ever awarded, but it certainly didn't seem an obvious mistake. Ralph Hasenhüttl, happy enough with his point, was magnanimous. If this is interesting you, then we have the feeling that the award of the penalty was not a clearly wrong decision. When the referee thinks it is a clearly wrong decision, he has to overrule it and he did it, which is a pity for us. Man City, 4-3-3, Ederson 6, Walker 5, Diaz 7, Ake 6, Cancelo 6, Silva 6.5, Foden 73, 7, Fernandinho 4.5, De Bruyne 65, 7, Gundogan 5.5, Jesus 6, Mahrez 67, 6, Sterling 6, Grealish 6 subs not used, Carson, Torres, Mbite, Palmer, Lavia, Wilson Esbern Southampton, 4-4-2, McCarthy 7, Livramento 7.5, Pero 86, Bednarek 8, Stevens 6, Salisu 37, 6.5, Walker Peters 7, Elyounoussi 7, Ramu 7.5, Ward Prowse 7, Redmond 7.5, Adams 6, Broha 68, 6, Armstrong 6.5 subs not used, Forster, Lyanco, Gineppo, Tella, Diallo, Valerie referee, John Moss 5 attendance, 52,698, that moment provided the peak drama. There was precious little else about which to get excited. Except on 90 minutes, when City celebrated a last-minute winner before a flag was raised, and on an industrial estate in West London, checks were made. It was Kevin De Bruyne's cross for Foden, headed goalwards that appeared to break the deadlock. Alex McCarthy saved magnificently, but on the rebound, Sterling managed to get the ball across the line. Alas, he had come from an offside position, something VAR would confirm. Had Sterling left it for the onside Foden, who was following up behind, City would have had their 3-point. Yet the disallowing of the goal was the most significant part of that action. It was the fact that it was City's first attempt on goal and that it came in the 90th minute. Even after the A-team had joined the action in De Bruyne, Foden, and Riyad Mahrez, there wasn't much to show for it. The team that hit 5 against Norwich and Arsenal, 6 against RB Leipzig, have come overall shot shy. Those Gofists have prevented us from asking Pep Guardiola the obvious question. What would Harry Kane do? More specifically, what would have done with the 22nd minute Kyle Walker cross which Bernardo Silva allowed to bounce off his head and wide? The question is not that, insisted Guardiola. Today we didn't not win because we didn't have a center forward. We didn't win because our crosses, our ability to make, to adapt, to create, to play better, and give better balls for the players that were up front weren't as good. Of course we had one shot on target, but there was 4 of 5 that was blocked in the 6-yard box. They were there. But that's not the reason. The reason is because we didn't do the passes for our back 4 and Fernandinho, the 5 guys who have to bring the ball to the other players today was not good. In these passes, we fly, we live all together to make transitions, this is the way. This was not perfect, not what we wanted. Only Guardiola could make a banal football passing sequence sound like a passage of magical realism, but, in a sense, he was right. City simply weren't fluid in their creative energy, and when they are, they can almost do without a world-class finisher. Almost. You sense that in the final analysis, against the best teams, in the title run-in and Champions League final stages, they will rue their inability to do a deal with Daniel Levy. The most significant first-half action came from the crowd. 3 minutes in, they roared repeatedly, a favorite anthem "We've Got Guardiola" to the tune of "Glad All Over." The lovers' tiff between iconic coach and hardcore fanbase appeared resolved after Guardiola criticized the lack of atmosphere, and numbers here in midweek and fans groups responded angrily. The fans, at least, were here and in force. The team, not so much. Another benefiting from the reaffirmation of affection was Raheem Sterling, picked to start for the first time since the opening day's 1-0 loss against Spurs. Supplanted by Ruben Dias in the leadership group at City and by Jack Grealish on the left of attack, his best work seems reserved for England these days. Here he played centrally, with City's only recognised centre-forward, Gabriel Jesus on the right and Grealish left. At times, that trio fizzed with excitement and passed with elegance. But not often. City are too good ever to be average. Yet they allowed Southampton plenty of the ball early on, lost possession cheaply, and looked some way short of their best. Southampton went well beyond competence here. In between their periodic 9-0 defeats, they look a thoroughly decent side. The loss of Danny Ings, Ryan Bertrand and Jan Vestergaard doesn't seem to have unduly taxed them. Ward-Prowse continues to shine in midfield, Oriol Romeu his faithful sidekick. Mohamed El-Yunusi will be so dangerous when he picks better options as to when to shoot and when to pass. Tino Livramento impresses and Armstrong is tireless up front.